The other part of the equation is picking your aperture, or simply what that means is how wide open your lens is, or how much light is being let in through that lens. Now, your lens does open and close. These are referred to as leaves, and they do come open and close just like the irises on your eye. If you think about, we're under low light, our irises have to open way up, and the same thing happens with a camera. A small aperture might be f/16 and a wide open maybe 2 or f/2.8. These are referred to as f-stops. However, with the law of light, and we can't go into it in depth or detail, but with the law of light and the way it works, and interacting with all the glass, there's hundreds of pieces of glass in this lens. The way it works is that if you have a smaller opening, like an f/16, versus a wide opening, it controls how much is in focus in front of your main subject and how much is in focus behind the main subject. And it's referred to as depth of field. So if I have a real small opening, I can have a lot of depth of field, like the landscape mode on the presets. If I have a wide open lens, I have a shallow depth of field, very much like the portrait mode on that preset. So let me show you really quickly a sample of this. I was at the dog park the other day, and I took a picture of this rail. And here we have a small f-stop, and you can see way back, the fence way back is in focus. That's referred to as a large depth of field, or there's a lot in focus. And here I opened the lens up way open to f4, and you can see now that past this one post here, it starts getting really fuzzy. That's referred to as a shallow depth of field. And again, when you set these f-stops in aperture priority, the camera is going to choose what shutter speed you need to go along with that f-stop. That is how you can control what's in focus, or what the final outcome of your image is. Now, if you've got a digital SLR camera, you probably have something called M, which is manual, which allows you to set both the shutter speed and the aperture opening. The camera will make some suggestions, but you have total control. You can say, I don't care what you say the aperture should be, I want to try it this way. And it gives you total creative control of your image. So that's what manual does, or the M setting. There is a optical zoom and a digital zoom on most cameras. An optical zoom is what moves glass. So on a point and shoot, you've got these things that gets you closer and moves you farther away. On a digital SLR, it's the lens on the camera that you physically move. Now that's the zoom that you want to use. I want to say that you should avoid using that other one called the digital zoom, because what a digital zoom does is it doesn't move glass to get you closer. It crops out pixels, like we were talking about at the very beginning. And in that case, let's say you wanted to go make an enlargement of it, you have fewer pixels to work with. So my preference is, if I can't move closer with an optical zoom or my sneaker zoom, which is moving myself physically closer to the main subject, I will just take the picture where it is and then take it into my photo editing software and decide where it is that I want to crop myself, instead of letting my camera crop out pixels for me. So in general, the rule of thumb is, if it's moving glass, it's physical like this is, use the optical zoom, but don't use that thing inside of the camera called the digital zoom. They may brag about it, but you don't really want to get closer by using it.